Hey, what's up, guys? It's your vocal coach, Matt Ramsey, and I'm thrilled because we've actually brought a new voice teacher into the studio.
Hello, Coda. Hello. Hello. Say hi to everyone. Say hi to everyone. Hello. Hello, Coda. Yes.
So that's exciting, but even more exciting is a trick that I discovered that you can use to actually trick yourself into singing in mixed voice much more easily. So mixed voice, in case you aren't familiar, is basically the blend between the bottom and the top part of your singing voice, like a E. That is not mixed voice because I'm breaking between my chest voice and my head voice. Instead, being able to do a That's more of a mixed voice because I've actually kept it connected from the bottom to the top part of my singing voice without having any big vocal breaks in between. And I'm going from an E3 up to a B4 there, right in the heart of my second passage. Instead, mixed voice is a little bit more connected, like a It's difficult to tell exactly where I'm going from the chest voice to the head voice because my voices are actually connected there. Now, a few years ago, I noticed that I was having a lot of students for whom the na 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 or the wasn't really doing the trick by itself. They were still straining every time that they went up to those higher notes, like this. So, so I'm quite flat on that top note. I'm really spreading the vowel. I'm starting to kind of shout it, and I'm basically pulling up my chest voice. And this actually led to the discovery of what I now call the find and replace technique. Because so many singers are having a hard time going up to those higher notes in their voice without simply straining, or just going to falsetto, I realized that a really important thing that most singers needed to do was they simply needed to just find that note in their voice by any means necessary. And for most singers that are straining up to that higher note, falsetto is actually a perfectly legitimate way of getting that note on pitch. So if I'm going from a to a at least I'm on pitch now. And you take that one step further and you think, okay, well now they found it, so they actually know where that pitch is. Now, maybe if I start them from the bottom of that scale, boom, they're able to find it in their mixed voice. So here's the really simple way to trick yourself into singing in mixed voice, and I'm gonna give you all the scales for the guys and the ladies in just 1 second. But if you've really been struggling to sing up to those higher notes and you've still been straining up to them, then the first thing that you need to do is just sing the top note by itself in falsetto. So say, for example, I'm singing this gee from a B flat 2 up to an F4, right in the heart of the male first passage. And that F4 is actually really tough because for most guys, it's right within spitting distance of the chest voice. The same thing would be true with around the A4 or the B flat 4 for the ladies. It's so close to your chest voice that it's really tempting to just push your way up to it. But remember, since you're going flat on that note, you're not actually getting it. So what we need to do is get there by any means necessary. So we need to find the note, and then we'll replace it with a mixed note. So find the note in falsetto. That's a heck of a lot better than and really pushing up to that top note, which I see all the time. Now, simply what we have to do is we just want to replace that note with the mixed voice. And the way that you do that is you simply just start from the very bottom of the scale. Start from that B flat 2, now go up to that F4. So here it is really quickly. So here's the wrong way. They'll do that over and over. And then I stop them and I say, okay, so for this scale, sing that top note. Okay, they found it in falsetto. Now, start from the bottom. And go to that exact same note, allowing that same feeling that you're getting into that top part of your voice with the falsetto. But here's the thing. Now they've actually blended the bottom part of their voice and the top part of their voice together. So yes, we had to treat them separately. We had to sing that top note in falsetto at first, which is totally fine because they were going up to that F4 with so much weight before, so much resistance, so much strain. Now I've lightened the load a little bit so they know exactly where that note is, and now their voice is going to naturally replace it with mixed voice. It's kind of like you're doing this puzzle piece and you're trying to make it fit into a place where it's not really supposed to, and it's just too big, it's just too fat, and so you shave it off or you cut away some of the puzzle piece just to make it fit there, and it's doing beautifully. So even though it seems like a hack, it really, really does work. So let's do a couple of them. And so what we're gonna do is very, very simple. So we're gonna do this on a gee. We're gonna start off with the guys, and then we're gonna move to the ladies in just a moment. But to start off, what we're gonna do is I'm going to demonstrate that top pitch in falsetto, and then we're gonna start from the bottom of the scale and move our way up there. This exercise is going to feature the octave and a half arpeggio, this triplet, 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 triplet done. This scale that I've given a million times. If you're not familiar with it, definitely check out some of my other videos where I break it down so that you're more familiar with it before we go into it. Okay, so remember the process here. I'm going to sing that top note in falsetto, then we're gonna start from the bottom of the scale, go together up to that top note, and all things should align, and you should surprise yourself and trick your voice into going into mixed voice on that top note. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with guys. We're gonna get started here down on that B flat 2, going up to that F4. So we're gonna sing that F4 in falsetto. Okay, now we're gonna sing from the bottom of the scale, and we're gonna go up to that top note. So we found it. Now we're gonna replace it with the mixed voice. And naturally, your voice should fill this in perfectly by just starting from the bottom of the scale. So here it is. Good. Now here, top pitch F sharp. Okay, we got it. Now we're gonna start from the bottom. Now this top one, G4, starting from the bottom. Now you guys are gonna do this one on your own on this G4, so sing that. Okay, now you're gonna start from this note, down at the bottom of your voice. It's a little low for me, but you've got this. 1, 2, 3, go. Now, if you did it right, you should notice that your voice just naturally filled in that G4 with some of your mixed voice. So it won't be as light as that key. You might have a key, which is exactly what we're looking for. For me and my voice, it feels a little bit rounder. It feels a little bit more whole. And that's exactly what we're looking for in your voice. Coming down now, F sharp. Guys, go ahead and sing this top one. So key, starting from the bottom. Nice and easy. Now this top one, F4, starting from the bottom. So much easier. Now the secret here is really simple. Those top notes before were just too fat. They were just too big. They were too strainy. You were trying to go there with too much chest voice. And now we've just taken all of the weight off of it by having you sing it in falsetto, and now your voice just naturally goes there. Ladies, let's go ahead and do the same thing, starting here with G3 on the bottom, D5 on the top. So, now start from the bottom. Good, now E flat on the top, just demonstrate that top note first. Now start from the bottom. Now let's do the same thing, E5 for the ladies. Okay, now start from the bottom. Now ladies, on your own, sing this top pitch. Good, now start from the bottom, 2, 3, go. Wonderful. Good, now let's do the same thing here. Here's your top note, D5. Let's start from the G on the bottom, 2, 3, go. Excellent work. Now, the really cool thing about this find and replace technique is that it's very, very powerful in helping you find the feeling of what that mixed voice is on those top notes so that they're not just so light and breathy like in falsetto or just so strainy and pushy like they are in just chest voice. But if you haven't found it yet, don't worry. Remember, this takes time and some specific vocal exercises. If you want some more fantastic mixed voice exercises, definitely check out my Master Your Voice Singing course.